What's up YouTube, it's Decklists TCG here and welcome back to another TCG video on my channel. On this channel you get tons of Pokemon TCG content, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We are super close of reaching 100,000 subscribers. It's crazy and mind-boggling at the same time. I cannot even stress out what a crazy achievement it will be. So if you want to be helping to the cause, you of course, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoy what you see, feel free to leave a like. It helps out the channel tremendously. It is super effective against the YouTube algorithm. With that being said, we're going to be talking about the not the Lille Regionals that actually happened last Regionals. We're going to be talking about the Gdansk Regionals. I also attended the Gdansk. It did not go my way because of Iron Thorns, but I already left the space for it into the history of this season, as it being probably one of the lesser tournaments for me personally. But there's still a vlog out there. You can also check that out on the channel. With that being said, we're going to be talking about the decks that were played. We're going to be checking out the top 16 deck list. We're going to be talking about conversion rates and all that good stuff. So if you enjoy meta analysis, this will be really good for you, because this is going to be the same meta for LAIC, our first international tournament all the way in Brazil. So I'm very excited to be watching from home, because I'm actually not attending LAIC myself. I'm currently ranked 13 in Europe, but I don't believe LAIC will have that crazy of an impact in the leaderboards, although I could be proven wrong and then I get slapped down all the way to like 30th place or whatever. But we're still going to be fighting and do the next events, because Stuttgart is around the corner and it's going to be in the new meta. For me, I'm going to be focusing on the new meta, Surging Sparks. So after this video, you're going to be seeing a ton of Surging Sparks content. We're going to be taking a look at some new deck lists. We're going to be seeing what's going to happen with the format. So more on that later. But for now, let's take a look at the Gdansk Regionals. And on the menu here, we see the decks that were played during day one. We see Raging Bolt still being the most popular deck, even though it actually is not the deck that is winning the most amount of tournaments. Followed up by Lugia, 12%. I am a Lugia main in this format, so I'm a very big fan of the deck as it is currently. And it is 12% meta share. It actually has gained a little bit left and right. If we take a look at the beginning of the season, where it only was 6%, which was like criminal in my opinion. Then we have Regidrago VSTAR, 8%, followed up by Charizard, 7%, Dragapult as well with 7%, and Palkia VSTAR with the Dusknoir package as well. Although with Palkia, there has been some slight innovations that we're going to be talking about as well, which is very cool to see. And then if you take a look at the rest of the meta, there was a little bit of Terapagos, Gardevoir EX, which they are still combining Gardevoir as well as Banette archetypes into one. I don't know what the percentage will be. Maybe there's more Banette than Gardevoir, we will never know. And then Iron Thorns was around a lot at the tournament. And I personally saw one during my winning in, which was very, very annoying, because that's pretty much an auto loss for Lugia. We see Snorlax Block being 5% as well, so a lot of people actually grab towards Snorlax control. So if we take a look at Iron Thorns and Snorlax Block combined, 10%. That's a lot of percentage of a very stall/annoying-ish decks, and there's also a little bit of Miraidon, 2%, and then 3% unclassified. So rogue decks, think about Cloth, for example, being one of those. Now let's take a look at the conversion rate. So this is the best decks, and let's take a look at the conversion rate. Raging Bolt dropped down 3%, but what do we see? Terapagos gained the #1 spot, so it was the most converting deck. I also lost against a Terapagos build, playing a lot of Bouffalant, and that's exactly what Tord also piloted to a second place finish. We're going to be checking those lists out in a minute, but having a crazy conversion rate once again, Terapagos is going to be a tier A deck for the remaining of the format, and there's also going to be a lot of people playing Terapagos over at LAIC, so prepare. There, Lugia stuck around with 10%. Regidrago gained like 2% meta share with the Regidrago VSTAR builds all combined, and Regidrago VSTAR also was the deck that won the Gdansk Regionals in the end. Gardevoir also gained, but that's just, it's crazy. I think there's going to be a lot of Banette list thrown in there. Please, people are making these charts, just split up Gardevoir builds and Banette builds, so we have a clear understanding of what the archetypes are. And then 9% Iron Thorns. So if you're a Lugia player, you're definitely going to be feeling that one. So not too many crazy Lugia over in the top 16 because of that Iron Thorns inclusion, if there are even. I have not checked it out quite yet. We're going to be doing that together. But if you take a look at the best of the rest in day 2, Law's Box gained a little bit, Snorlax Block stuck around, Charizard dropped again. So that is my craziest thing here. Like in the beginning of the format, Charizard was the most played deck. Then it dropped down. Then it came back a little bit, and now it dropped down again. So what is it with Charizard? Are people just not finding enjoyment out of Charizard? Or maybe it is too clunky with the fact that people are pushing Dusknoir into the list in combination with Pidgeot and stuff like Torton and Briar. It's a little bit too clunky, and that's why it flopped maybe. Or maybe it's because Regidrago VSTAR was just that dominant. You have Kyurem, you have Dragapult, and there's also Palkia with, of course, Dusknoir packages that really prey upon Charizard build. So I don't know why Charizard keeps on dropping so much. Mimikyu Control, also very cool to see that 3% of the meta share. Then Terapagos Noctowl, then that is actually without Dusknoir in there. And then Dragapult also flopped again. So Dragapult and Charizard see the same story. Like they get hyped up, they flop. They get hyped up, they flop. So depends on which tournaments the decks can perform quite well, as we saw with Clement with the Dragapult, Pidgeot getting that second place over at Lille Regionals. But yeah, they have the tendency of just throwing themselves out there, playing playtime with a lot of like people playing the deck, and then it flops. So we had that happen with Raging Bolt as well. So now let's take a look at the deck list. Alberto Conti actually was able to win the event. I was actually secretly rooting for him because he has been on a tier, has been the #1 player in Europe currently, and it shows. He played incredibly well, and again, big congratulations Alberto Conti if you're watching this video. Of course, this 60 is super nice because it's similar to a 60 I was testing for Worlds, and the cool thing is that you're playing as well the Temple of Sinnoh and the Jamming Tower. I'm a big fan of Jamming Tower because Jamming Tower is super strong in the format right now. Think about the Bravery Charms in the Raging Bolt list, and you can also shut down stuff like for Steelstone. Also helps against Gravity Orbs, against Banette. So I think it's a strong stadium all around, Jamming Tower in this format. Temple of Sinnoh, particularly used for Lugia, but helps out a ton against stuff like Terapagos as well. And other than that, it is a very solid list. You have a lot of options with your Dragon-type Pokemon by your side. Dragapult EX, 2 copies of that, very important attacker in this list. And then Kyurem to bench wipe if the opponent does not slap down Manaphy. There was not a lot of Manaphy around, so yeah, Regidrago doing it. We had Lille, where James Cox was able to win with Regidrago, and then now we see Alberto Conti with Regidrago VSTAR as well. So yeah, this deck cannot be stopped. This is the exact 60 that they played. Then Tord Reklev in the finals. What a surprise. One of the best players to ever play the game, all the way from Norway. Of course, look at this 60. It is going to be a very nice way you can loop with Turo and Penny by your side. You have the Palpat, you have, of course, access to the Penny as well. And with all of that, you can just loop. Definitely with Buffalo out there, your Terapagos has technically 290 HP because of the 60 reduction, and if you combine that with Penny and Turo, you can save turns time and time again. You have Pidgeot for, of course, searching any deck you want, actually any card you want from the deck, and a 1-0, actually a 2-0 one line of the Dusknoir, allowing you to get some cheeky prizes left and right, and also can force out a Briar. You can get the Duskull into play when the opponent least expects it with the help of Thornton. There's a high amount of Ultra Ball in the list as well, so again, a very consistent Terapagos list, and with the Fan Rotom, you can get yourself started right from the get-go. I think this is going to be the way to play Terapagos from here on out. I think the Buffalans are a real crazy good inclusion, and I definitely felt that when I was up against a similar build like this one. Daniel Magda from the Czech Republic with Regidrago VSTAR as well. This is a list that actually was piloted before by Miloslav to get a 20th place. So the difference we see here is that they opted to go for Gudra VSTAR, the Hisuian Gudra VSTAR, for some additional defensive power. And also this is not playing Super Rod, it is playing the Superior Energy Retrieval. Also comes back with Haxorus. Haxorus is a Pokemon that allows you to one-shot anything that has a special energy. Be careful of missed energies though, but it can definitely help against Terapagos. You just snap your finger and they are one-shotted. How cool is that? And also come back with the 230 damage output because of the Dragon Pulse. So have some extra dragons in the list, and you can discard them quite easily through the means of Superior Energy Retrieval. Just be careful though, there's only 2 Fire-type energies in this 60. Then we have Magnus Pedersen that played really well with Banette Gardevoir, and there were 2 Banette Gardevoirs in that top 8. We see here is This 60 is gravitating towards 2 copies of the Gravity Gemstone. You have 2 counter catchers, 1 prime catcher, 2 boss, and even the Banette with the Puppet offering to have a supporter back from the discard pile, meaning you have a lot of gusting. You want to trap opponents, and also they come back with Spiritomb to, of course, shut down Rotom, Lumineon, very important. This can actually help a ton against Lugia, by the way, when they're not able to use Lumineon, and could help out against other archetypes as well. So you buy yourself turns because they cannot insta-charge. There is the Screamtail, which is a very, very good inclusion because that can help when you take your last couple of prize cards with Screamtail. You just move around some damage counters with the Monkey Dory. There's the double Monkey Dory in here, and double Monkey Dory really makes this deck shine so much. So if you want to be playing Item Lock, now is the time to play. We also have Mateus from Poland. The regional was in Poland, and they were actually one of the few people that actually popularized Banette during its early lifespan. We have Banette here. This time, it actually is also playing Spiritomb as well as Screamtail. Only 1 copy of the Gravity Gemstone, so it's playing the similar vibes here with Banette. And I'm going to be testing out Banette soon on the channel as well because I think it deserves a lot of respect. Matches Jacobson from Denmark with Iron Thorns. Look at that. Was also piloted at Louisville by Maxwell Johnson. So little shout out right there. We see double Enhanced Hammer in a meta where Terapagos is doing pretty well. It's actually not too bad of a call. And definitely in the combination with 4 copies of Crushing Hammer, that's going to be your winning condition against Terapagos. Get rid of all their energies. You have access to 3 copies of Lost City. This is actually not playing any out to Mimikyu. So if you see a Mimikyu, it is pretty much locked and loaded that you lose. But in return, you come back with a more energy disruptive way to be playing Iron Thorns. Then 7 plays with Steve Lawson. Let's see here. This is going to be only playing 1 copy of Canceling, because also could help against a lone Mimikyu, but if they come back with more Mimikyus, it's going to be way more tricky. There is some pennies in there. 1 copy of the Enhanced Hammer seems to be a mainstay, and very similar to like the Iron Thorns builds we've seen. And I think like the Giovanni's Charisma is kind of cool. If you with your turn 1 energy attachment, you can get it off in 1 turn, I suppose, but also it couldn't be a way you can have some energy denial by your side. 8 plays with Alex Scopini from Italy with Snorlax. And this is still Snorlax Block, as we all know. Not love, we know it. Yeah, what do we see here is the Rotom build. We saw at the Little Regionals with Sander Wojcik popularizing the non-Rotom builds of Snorlax Block. They still grab towards this known 60 with the disruptive cards. Zerusik in there, handheld fans. We have the disruptive supporters, Eerie, Misfortune Sisters, lots of Gust with Pokemon, actually with the counter catcher, as well as some Balsa's Order. So and 3 copies of Palpat. There is a Regidrago in there, and that is actually a super cool way you could be putting a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand, and that could be really useful if you're seeing something like mirror matches going on. You can just get some more stuff, but it also allows you in 1 turn to just get back maybe a Hero Escape if you want to, or maybe something else you really want to be reusing. It can help with the Regidrago right there. So we can put a trainer card into your hand. Okay, moving forward, that was the top 8. Let's open it up a little bit to top 16. Michael Hunter from Ireland with Gardevoir. This Gardevoir list is playing Secret Box as probably the main ace pack for Gardevoir going forward. Also playing Phasandipity and a little bit of Rare Candy, so a little bit of the Harmony list thrown in there. We see here Drifloon, Screamtail, 3 copies of Bravery Charm, so you are very heavily reliant on the Bravery Charm, so it can also help you survive against Radiant Greninja with your Bravery Charms. You push your rolls all the way to 120 HP, which can really help out. Only 1 copy of Rare Candy in here. There's a Temple of Sinnoh in here that can really help out against stuff like Lugia and Terapagos. Alright, also Spiritomb seems to be finding its way into Gardevoir now. There's Jake Blight from the UK with Lost Box. So if you are playing Lost Box and you are whiffing out against any Regidrago VSTARs, you're gonna have a great run. We did see this before. It is playing the strongest attackers in the game with Iron Hands by your side, a late game Blood Moon, and an early lead of an Iron Thorns. It allows you to win almost any game against specific archetypes. You have a very turbo mindset with 3 Lost Vacuum, 3 Pokestop, so you want to be going for that turn 2 Mirage Gate, and then either you attack with Moonlight Shuriken of a Greninja, or you can set up your Iron Hands chance to take multiple prize cards. So yeah, Lost Box is still alive, and Regidrago did do well again. So I wonder how long the streak of Lost Box doing well will continue. Caleb Rogerson from the United States with Terapagos as well. This also comes packed with a very thick Hoot Hoot line, actually a Noctowl line, 4/4 line of the Noctowl. They didn't play any of the Buffalo lands, but they did play a thicker, Dusknoir variant with a 2/1/2 package thrown in there. The Prime Catcher is still very strong in this 60 because you can just scout it out with the Jewel Seeker of the Noctowl. And a little bit, they are not playing Penny or Turo, so instead they have the heavy Dusknoir package with Terapagos. So I don't know which version you prefer. Let me know in the comments down below. Oscar Madsen from Denmark with Palkia Noctowl, and this is where they innovated a ton. I saw this over on X, the former Twitter, and we do see here Volbeat and Illumise. Illumise is super cool, and that allows you, if you go second, and you can only use this on your first turn. When you go second, shuffle one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. That can help out miracles against stuff like Lugia, against stuff like Regidrago. If there's the only attacker or the Pokemon they really need to have in play, you can just say, yo, get out of there. And the other one, the Volbeat, actually allows you, if you go first, you can actually attack. So that's going to help you to search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. And this actually is interesting because the deck is actually playing 4 copies of Jet Energy, so you can force those Volbeats or Illumise into the active spot. Could also work miracles if you want to donk somebody with a Fan Rotom, you could do so. So Palkia Terapagos, this is very unique indeed. It also comes back with the Trumpet, so you can get some extra energy into play. And I think this is going to be a nice way going forward. It's called Jet's Palkia for a good reason, and it's very strong in my book. Next, James Cox is doing it again with a Regidrago. A Regidrago VSTAR has been the known 60 here, and it's the same 60 that they played in Lille, and they did it again. So phenomenal player. We already talked about this list in the last meta discussion video here, while doing the recap of Lille. Nothing has changed here, so it's a known 60, and it's performing incredibly good. Okay, then Matthew Houtput from Belgium actually playing Gardevoir. So Gardevoir had some minor success, if I had to be seeing it over here. We have no Spiritomb in here. We do have Manaphy. I think this is the first Manaphy I've seen all day. Is it? I should recheck here, but Manaphy protecting yourself against the attack of not only Radiant Greninja, but also against Curums, which are very deadly. Klefki, a very strong way to lead off with this deck. There's always Fluttermane as well. It's just a very consistent Guardian list with 2 copies of Artisan, no weird shenanigans with Temple and stuff. You just want to be playing the game, and that's what the Gardevoir is known for. Brennan Cameraman, the Cameramans are back, this time with Brennan playing, of course, Lost Box. Yeah, what a surprise. They really love Lost Box, and it shows. They have a great success throughout the track run. If we just take a look at Brennan Cameraman, you would see Lost Box Mania. Look at that. Tons and tons of Lost Box. And now they're probably very happy to be playing Lost Box once again. There's a one-off Silene in here. I wonder against which archetypes that is. Silene could allow you to get an additional Mirage Gate back on top of the deck, which you can then instantly find with Pokestop. So I think it's not bad. You can get resources back and then get them with Pokestop. You can even get a Prime Catcher back at one point. So yeah, Lost Box, the strongest attackers in the game, as mentioned, Iron Hands, Blood Moon, and also come back with the Pheasantipity to draw some cards, and the Manaphy in there as well. Then David Valerian is playing Gardevoir, and look at this, also playing a very aggressive build with double candy, secret box, and that's going to allow you to attack very quickly with your phenomenal attackers in the form of either Drifloon or Screamtail, even Guardi EX by itself. So Gardevoir, I would say Gardevoir did really well at this tournament, and they are all regular Guardies. On top of the regular Guardies, there's also double of the Banette. So if I'm taking a look at all of these lists, yeah, I don't know if we should actually split up the Banettes, because the Banettes really overperformed in my sense, but the regular Guardies did really well too. Okay, let's give some unique decks a little bit of a shout out. I would say a unique deck here is Alessandro Cremascole, of course, my good friend here over from Italy, playing Quad Mimikyu and the friends. Diancie for the Chinchinos in the Lugia matchup. There's Minior for the Snorlax Block matchup, and you have Mimikyu. Mimikyu by itself is quite strong because you wall off EXs and V Pokemon, and that's pretty much the deck. Very controlling and stall-like, as we know Alessandro likes to do. Also, we have the Cornerstone in here. Really, very cool to show off with Crispin, and then get the DTE. Crispin can be found through the means of Pokegear. So I like this list. Also needs something I should test out. What else is unique is Alessio Cafola with a Gholdengo list. Gholdengo doing well. No surprise because Jelle van Kampen put Gholdengo back on the map. A random Morty's Conviction in this list, but other than that, some stuff we've seen before. Bibarel joining the Gholdengo for some additional draw power on top of Phasmodipity and Concealed Cards allows you to go for drawing half of your deck, which is not a bad thing, right? We have Ashley Richards from the UK playing Gouging Fire, the same 60 that Luke piloted to a top 16 finish. So Gouging Fire on the map as well. And any other unique decks? Probably not, right? Yeah, it's pretty much the known meta, I suppose. So the meta has been shaped. Let me know what you will be seeing at LAIC. What is your prediction? I'm very curious to hear your opinion down below. If I had to guess, like Terapagos will definitely get more popular, but all the archetypes we've seen are, of course, not doing too many rogue things. We have not seen too many rogue things doing like very crazy in like top 32 or something. So maybe there's going to be some innovation and people are saving it for LAIC. I'm very curious for sure. Hopefully you guys had a blast here. Of course, running through the analysis of the Gdansk Regionals. Gdansk, beautiful city over in Poland. I would recommend everyone going there, even if it's not for TCG. Super beautiful city to be walking around in. And I will see you guys tomorrow for some more Pokemon TCG content. Thanks for watching today. And as always, big shout out to my sponsors that make the videos possible. There are, of course, links down below so you can get some percentage points actually from your shopping basket. Whether you're looking for damage counters on TC Evolutions or sleeves on Dragon Shield, links down below. You can get some percentage off, so definitely do so. Poketown store as well. If you're looking for TCG Live code cards, definitely go check out the description and you're going to be having a good time to, of course, buy some fantastic product. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace.